Dillian the Body Snatcher right here. It's a champ. Big up to Sporting Icon. Subscribe. Otherwise, I might pay you guys a visit.
Okay, so the WBC have announced their new rankings up and down the weight divisions. And this video, of course, when we're talking about the heavyweight division. So I want to go through the top 15 as I would normally do. Point out the changes, what fights recently happened, what fights are coming up, all that good stuff. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Click that subscribe button. Turn it from red to grey. It's free. You'll love it. It's brilliant over here. Make sure you do it. It's free. You're a boxing fan, correct? Get cracking. Anyway, so I want to go through the top 15 and we'll have a little bit of a chat about it. So this is the WBC for the month of March in the heavyweight division. Tyson Fury is WBC heavyweight world champion. Number 1, Deontay Wilder. Number 2, Andy Ruiz Jr. Number 3, Frank Sanchez. Number 4, Arslanbek Makhmudov. Number 5, Anthony Joshua. Number 6, Dillian Whyte. Number 7, Martin Bakole. Number 8, Zan Kosabuski. Number 9, Otto Wallin. Number 10, Josie Parker. Number 11, Jared Anderson. Number 12, Luis Ortiz. Number 13, F.A. Jagba. Number 14, Ajit Kabiel. And number 15, Filip Hrgović. That's top 15 for the WBC in the heavyweight division for the month of March. Dropped out this month is Bakodir Jalalov. Replaced by Ajit Kabiel. Ajit Kabiel is number 14. Ajit Kabiel has now become a 2-time European heavyweight champion. He vacated the belt once before when he's ordered to take on Joe Joyce. I've said all this before, and he bottled it. So now he's taken on his own countryman. I don't know his name, to be honest. He had a record of 19-1, I think it is. And now Ajit Kabiel is the European heavyweight champion. So he's in there. I can't say too much more in this video compared to what I would normally do without repeating what I said last month. So it's best to just go watch last month's video on the WBC rankings, just so you're fully up to speed, because nothing else has changed. And that's unfortunate, I think, because some fights have happened and whatever else. But am I overall happy with these rankings? No, of course not. You know, there are some odd positions in here. There are some fighters in here who I believe should not be in here, like number 12, Luis Ortiz. I don't think he should be in the top 15. He hasn't beaten anybody that's good, that you would consider, oh, that was a good win. Not since Bryant Jennings back in 2015, 16, something like that. Immediately after Bryant Jennings lost to Vladimir Klitschko. So other than that, Luis Ortiz hasn't beaten anybody. Personally, I'd like to see Luis Ortiz versus Derek Chisora. Winner stays on, loser retires. I'd watch that fight. I'm sure a lot of you would too. So, fights coming up. Number 7, Martin Bakole. He's going to be taking on a guy who's 10-0, 8 knockouts. Sounds pretty good on paper, but against journeyman. Puddings. That's all Martin Bakole has done. That's all Martin Bakole's opponent has fought and defeated. Martin Bakole, of course, he defeated Tony Yoka coming up a year ago now, or thereabouts, 10 months, whatever it is. And he hasn't done anything since. Why? Because he's been dining out on that Tony Yoka win. He even took apparently $100,000 off his own country government or something like that, because he promised him a fight with Michael Hunt or whatever it may be. Has he given that $100,000 back? I don't know. According to people online from Congo, they're saying he hasn't. So it's going to be interesting to see what Martin Bakole does after this next another prospect fight, right? So I'll see Martin Bakole take on somebody meaningful in this top 15. That would be good. Maybe Martin Bakole versus Dillian Whyte, or Martin Bakole versus Arslanbek Makhmudov, or Frank Sanchez, or a Jared Anderson, or a Luis Ortiz, or a Jagba. Get somebody. Fight somebody, for the love of God. Stop fighting prospects. So other than that, no changes. Number 5, Anthony Joshua. He's going to be fighting this coming weekend on April the 1st at the O2 Arena against Jermaine Franklin. Hopefully he comes through that one. I'm sure he will. He's good for the heavyweight division, that's for sure. Number 6, Dillian Whyte. What's happening with him? Last time I spoke with Dillian was probably a couple of weeks ago, and he still hadn't had an opponent. Since I spoke with him probably about a month before then, he still hasn't had an opponent. I don't know what on earth Eddie Hearn's doing. No idea whatsoever. And I'm sure Dillian's getting a little bit ratty about it. So I want to see him out soon. I want to see him and have his fight announced ASAP. Against who? I don't know. If I'm Dillian Whyte, I don't stay with Matchroom. I'm looking elsewhere, to be honest with you, because I don't think that they're too interested in Dillian Whyte anymore. If I'm Dillian Whyte, take the hint. And I say that about quite a few fighters as well. If you're not getting fights, take the hint, okay? And I say that to a couple of fighters that I know personally as well, in around my area. Take the hint. What's happening with number 1, Deontay Wilder, versus number 2, Andy Ruiz Jr.? It's been ordered for the WBC manager position, and because it's been ordered what feels like ages ago, they haven't put a deadline on it. Quite unusual. It seems that they're allowing the PBC to just make the fight whenever they want to make it. When under normal circumstances, you get given a date to make the fight. If you don't come to an agreement within a certain period, then it goes to a purse bid. That should have already happened and been and gone by now. Why WBC haven't done it is anyone's guess, other than their blatant bias towards the PBC. But as I said, no changes, so I'm not going to rabbit on too much. Otherwise, I'm going to be going over old ground. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.